Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel Ray and this is Rachel Ray Fiber Arts, where I talk about cross stitch and other fiber arts obviously, but at the moment just cross stitch. It's the middle of April already. What is today? The 15th. Today is Flosstube 134, right? Yeah, 134, yay. If this is your first time here, welcome in, and I hope that you enjoy this update of what I've been stitching on, what I plan to do, and be sure to subscribe so that you can get notified when I ring the bell as well. Do you know that little bell? Do you know about the bell? If you make sure that the notification's on, it'll push you a notification on your phone letting you know that there's a new update. And I'm trying to do these every 2 weeks, as time allows. So welcome in. I hope that you're doing well. And yeah, everything is good here. I'll give you a little life update at the end. But the last time that I filmed was April 1st, or did I publish it April 1st? Whatever. April 1st-ish. And I have worked on 4 projects. 1, 2, 3, 4 projects since then. So let's get a drink, get hydrated. I'm not hydrating, I'm just indulging in more caffeine because why not? So I am doing a couple of stitch alongs. Well, I say that. I'm doing one for sure, a year-long stitch along called Stitch for Pride Sampler by D's 20 Stitches, and I am participating in WIPGO, and WIPGO is suffering, but we will get there. Anyway, cheers. We will get there eventually. All right, let me put that in a safe place. So the first thing that I pulled out and worked on, I was talking about this in my last Flosstube, is Grimm's Fairy Tales Stitch Along from 2020. It's a Clouds Factory design. And I started this in May of 2020. Let me check. Nope, March 18th of 2020. And this piece, I have decided, is going to be a gift for my brother-in-law and his wife because they are expecting. And I can't think of a better reason to have it finished, especially since it's been taking me so long to work on this, as you can tell. Someone asked me, let me see if I can get the comment up, how many 2020 WIPs I have. Marianne. It was Marianne was giving me 2 Flosstubes ago, giving me some advice and stuff. And how many 2020 WIPs do you still have? I would like to know how many WIPs you have from 2020. I have 11 from 2020. That's when I really got into stitching. Okay, so back to one thing, if you're new here, I have undiagnosed ADHD, so you'll have to, my mind goes real quick and in circles all the time, and I am not going to apologize. That's just how I am. This is what we're looking at. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? The fabric is Barbarall Creations in olive oil. It's a 16 count Aida. And according to Pattern Keeper, I'm right under 51% complete. Isn't that cool? So I managed to fill in all of Cinderella. This is all Cinderella right there. And finish the words down here, and I put these in. Don't look at the sun. Bad sunshine, bad. Very pretty. I've done some modifications on this, but it's called for floss and everything. So nothing too out of the ordinary. This one is coming to Stitch North with me. Stitch North is so soon. Stitch North is a retreat run by Off the Grid Needle Arts, who has a store called Evertotes. It's a project bag store that morphed into a cross-stitch pattern store. And I'm gonna bring this WIP with me. All right, that was number 1. I got a lot of stitching in on that. I think it was close to 1,200 stitches, which is not too bad. So I worked on that for the first week of April, solid. Didn't change anything, didn't modify anything. Oh, just a little heads up. I am also participating in like a Stitching for a Cause charity event called Marathon for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Girls, Women, and Two-Spirits. We have raised quite a bit of money, which is awesome. I am donating not just my time, but my money towards the Coalition to Stop Violence Against Native Women, and I'd love it if you'd join me. My friend Michelle of Michelle Bendy Stitchy is actually hosting auctions this week over on her Patreon, but I'll make sure that I link her Flosstube video so that you go watch it, have some fun, you know, listen to someone else talk about cross stitch for a while. And I'll link her Patreon if you'd like to check out the auctions. There's yarn, there's cross stitch WIPS. I'm very tempted, but I need to save my money because I'm going to Stitch North. One of them is a Heaven and Earth design that she's been stitching on for quite some time, and she's donating her WIP to the cause, and basically raising money with bids. So make sure you get a bid in if you're interested. But yeah, yarn and cross stitch WIPs, definitely check that out. Okay, because we have extended the amount of time that we are fundraising another month. So the end of April will be the official end of Marathon, and I am really, really hoping that I can hit 100 hours. I think Stitch North might actually, if I actually stitch, will get me there. I hope. Fingers crossed. But please check out her auctions. I am finished with auctions on my end, but it's great to see other team players doing what they can to raise money. And Michelle's already raised well more than the amount that we set for each other, which was $1,000 each. But it's about getting people involved and spreading the word, right? So please check it out. Check out my donation link down below if you'd like to donate. But I am currently at 66 hours as of, let me just double check that. As of last night, because I did every time that I stitch, I log my hours, and the last hour was, is it gone already? Did I stitch? Oh, I didn't stitch last night, that's why. So if you go to my Instagram page, there's a little red highlight here, that's the marathon. And you can actually go through and you'll get all the links to everything here on Instagram. And sorry about the glare, but then you'll see hour 1, hour 2, etc. And you can go all the way through and see all the progress that I've made on my projects and which ones that I've been working on, etc. It's been really fun. I enjoy doing this. And right now I am sitting, oh no, I was wrong. Is it 68? 68 hours, okay, 68. For every 10 hours that I stitch, I donate $10. So I'm just about to donate again. And you can check out my donation page for the accountability on that. All right, then after I got kind of tired of Grimm's because I could hit 50%, I took out my Stitch for Pride sampler, and that one Oh dear. Things are falling. That one had a total of 1,251 stitches. I started it on the 7th. I worked on it 7th, 8th, and 10th. And I got those 1,200 stitches. 1,251. Stitch for Pride sampler. Again, it's by D's 20 Stitches. I have them linked. I'm stitching it on Mislaid Pages fabric called Determination in a 32 count Lagana. And now we have April complete. It says, where do you draw the line? All right, so a little bit about this. This is the April block, and it's based on an art exhibit from the Kiss and Tell collective. And this is basically, how do I explain? In the 80s, it was very taboo to show things like female nudity and sexuality publicly. And if it wasn't, even with the magazines and things like that, it was still very taboo. But it was also incredibly taboo if you were a lesbian, okay? So the history behind this and learning, like diving deep into that and why this art installation would have made such an impact. Basically, it was just these photographs that were on a wall, like Polaroids and things like that, very amateur looking, some professional obviously, but like, do you know, it felt like a slice of life. It feels also, looking back from where we are now in 2024 and then going back to like 1984, it feels like a whole different kind of world. And the struggle that those people were going through just to be themselves is the whole reason that, you know, we're stitching this sort of thing, to celebrate how far we've come in just being ourselves. So anyway, the learning about the exhibit and the history behind the piece, gas. Every time I go to film, something is happening and the dog starts barking. So the light has changed a little bit, but hopefully it'll be better. So anyway, where was I? I am really enjoying the sampler. I'm really enjoying the focus and the learning every month. And it's a really fun way to express myself through cross stitch. And I really like that. So we have Keith Haring, Kehinde Wiley, Stephanie Shee, and the Kiss and Tell collective. And I'm really excited to see what May will bring. This piece is likely not coming with me to Stitch North because, well, it's not happening in May. So I will pick this up when I come back from the US. And I'm excited to see what the next one will be. And for those of you who are interested, I used Dinky Dye Minjanu. I'm probably saying that very wrong. This one. I looked it up. It's a place in Australia. And it's a beautiful color. Beautiful, beautiful color. It was, oops. It was charted to be more of a baby pink, but because there was a lot of baby pink in my last motif, I wanted something that would be a little bit more bold. So that is that one. Next up, I brought out my Modern Folk Embroidery Evertote Roxy Floss Co. collab the 2022 Holiday Countdown Sal. It's also known as the Frisian Band Sampler. This one is the one that I want to get close to a finish so that I can finish it at Stitch North. And it is such a fun piece. You have to hold this up behind it. So the fabric is 16 Count April Showers by Be Stitch Me. It's beautiful, bright, light blue aqua, and mostly solid. And I am stitching the top banner of the right side. Obviously, you can see all this is done, except there's a little bit left in that banner right there to do, but this is where I'm at. And I am fussy cutting. I told you I would. So I have made very stylistic choices on colors and where to put them. And I'm getting close to finishing that. I think just one more stitching session, one more day of stitching, and I will have that top banner complete and I can move on. A lot of what's going on down here is open. So I think there's like a bird and a tree, and it's very empty space, which is going to make it go a lot faster. I do not have this in Pattern Keeper, so I can't tell you exactly how many stitches it was. I'm not counting them with a whatchamacallit, a calculator or anything like that. But just to give you an idea, I am between the days of December 14th and 15th according to the chart. And so I am hoping, I am going to continue working on this and make it my focus for this week. No other cross stitch is going to happen this week. I am going to try to get this very, very close to the finish. I can see left part of the border. So once I finish the banner I'm on, I'm supposed to go back to the left side and finish that bottom border. Below is the top of the right set. So then I come back up and I finish the right hand side. And then the 18th is some snowflake motifs and a cat. Then I add some more snowflakes and the top part of flowers in a vase, I believe it is. Then I finish the vase, the inside of a Quaker motif, and etc., etc., etc. I can't show you because it's the pattern, so you're just like building upon the foundations of what you've already stitched. And then it's the bottom border. So I might just leave something to, something that'll be easy to count off of to finish at Stitch North and get my finish there and get a picture with Caroline. That's what I want. 23rd, 24th, and 25th is the bottom of the sampler. There are a couple more bands. So very fun, very exciting. And I am using this beautiful silk that I got from a stitching box. I believe that it was a wintry box, and it's beautiful, beautiful hank. I love the color changes, and I love the fact that I can pick, I can pick a color and stitch in that color. The only color that's really hard to do with is this shade of blue. It's very short. That is my plan, I guess, and my WIP. Getting closer, closer, closer. And then finally, I took out a WIP Go call. My WIP Go calls for April are Twisted Rainbow Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework and Ego Death by Night Spirit Studio. I misspoke. Last time it was not Witchy Stitcher, it's Night Spirit Studio. And I will take this and put it behind it. So here is where I am. You're probably going to notice it right away. Some of you, maybe not all of you, but some of you will notice that my moth is off. It's actually this moth that's wrong, or this letter E, I misplaced it. It should have been one more stitch down. So this moth is correct, and this one isn't, but the one on the left here has all of the back stitch. So I am going to write a note and put it in the bag with this, that I need to frog this out and restitch it up one more to match this, because it will actually drive me insane. This is, I'll try to get up the page with ego death. Does it say what fabric it's on? I don't have it with me. This is an XJU design, and it's one of those like dirty fabrics. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. It's stunning. And the finish is going to be beautiful too. I found that it was really fun to stitch with this beautiful, I used this gorgeous little thread keeper, and I don't have, that's surprising, I don't have any floss around me, so I'm going to show you with the end of my thread here. But basically, if you're pulling, you pull out a strand of 6 strands, and then you need somewhere to put those other strands while you're stitching, these work very well. And this I bought from Crafty Emily in the UK. She has an Etsy store, and I watch her Flosstube all the time, so I wanted to support, and I got that, and it's really, really nice to use with this project. So this one is going to go away. This one is going to go back into the WIP pile because I've made a big mistake, and womp womp. It's too bad. Too bad, so sad for me. So you already know my plans. I am contemplating bringing my Twisted Rainbow sampler with me, but I'm worried about the light, the lack of light at the venue. Now, some people, I have gone through all the Facebook posts that's in the Stitch North group, and they said that the overhead lights were perfectly fine for stitching. But they're also not stitching on 28 count Lugana that's completely black. So I do worry about it. And I'm wondering, is it worth bringing with me? Maybe, we'll see. But at the moment, I will go through them at the end of this week or this coming weekend, and we will go through what I'm bringing to Stitch North and how I'm packing and everything, and then I will make a follow-up video about how it went and what I got and how fun it was and everything, and how well my packing was. We'll see. All right, let's talk about haul. I got one piece of haul. Just one thing in the mail, and it's so cute. This is a bag from Lollipop Stitches. Look, it's so pretty. Vinyl front bag. It has a zipper pull that looks like a resin heart. It's got her face, her little emoji, and the fabric. They're lemurs. They're lemurs. Isn't that so cute? This is an instant buy for me. Look at that. Rainforest fabric. And then this beautiful, oh my God, yes. So I'm gonna put a project in here and bring it to Stitch North because Lolly will be there too. And I'll make sure to link her store. Sometimes she'll just like randomly update with more stuff. So definitely check her out and check out her Flosstube. Okay, so aside from the last 2 weeks, ma'am, please. Sorry about my dog. Like I said, it's days like this where everything is happening. It's Monday, it's busy, it's 4 p.m., you know, it's people coming in and out, and she gets over anxious. So, where do I want to begin? I have been considering bringing a knit project with me. Since we are going away for 3 weeks, it might be nice to have something to knit on. And I may end up casting on something. I may end up starting a new thing because I'm thinking about buying yarn while I'm over there. Now, I will try my best to include pictures when I can. I have purchased a pattern called Night Shift by Andrea Mowry, and this is a shawl that's absolutely stunning, and I want to knit it exactly in the same colors as the original, the model, the picture that you can see. It's already like, it's just perfect the way that it is. I love those colors and I want them so bad. The problem is that they are spin cycle yarns. Those particular colors are all spin cycle, and they are hard for me to get because I'm not in the US. So I'm hoping that while I'm over there, I can make a purchase either in Canada while I'm with my friends at this retreat, or down in the States, down in Virginia. The colors are, I think it might be a fade or like a group or something, because it says it's called Dream State, or that's the type. I think that's the type of yarn. Anyway, Melancholia, Shades of Earth, Deep Bump, Salty Dog, Rusted Rainbow, and Nostalgia are all the colors. And so I'm gonna bring my circular needle with me so that I can start it if I find the yarn. That would be an incredible new start for me. Again, the dog and trucks. Another knit that I was thinking about casting on is called LYS by Andrea Mowry, Drea Renee Knits. This is another pattern that I own. It's in my library already. I've already purchased it. This is a cardigan, and it has a really beautiful detail down the front. You can see the picture. Again, this is something that I would like to purchase yarn for, because I know I have a lot of yarn in my stash, but I don't have multiple skeins. I have a lot of one-off skeins, and this is begging for me to make in a solid. I love the mustard color that this is knit in, and this is a fingering weight, so any fingering weight will do, just a solid. I haven't figured out how many yards or what size I'm going to need, but I will be making this a close fitting cardigan. I was going to wear my summer sorrel, which is a tee that I made, and I only made that last year, and it now does not fit very well. So if anybody has any suggestions, because, okay, this is a little bit of life update, but I've spent the last 6 months going to the gym, and I got a trainer and everything, and, you know, following a plan and lifting weights and all this sort of thing, changing my lifestyle completely for my health, because I was feeling very, very low in myself and I had no strength whatsoever. I felt like if the wind blew wrong, that I would twist my ankle again and it would be game over, right? The doctor told me that if I did twist this ankle again, that I would need surgery. So I was like, you know what? It's time to build up my strength and not be afraid every time I leave the house that I'm going to stumble and collapse the ankle again. And since then, I have lost a lot of weight, which is wonderful for me anyway, what I think. And that just means that a lot of the things that I've made unfortunately don't fit. I'm sure one day they will fit again. But if you have any suggestions, knitters, to help me out here, or even crocheters, what's the best way? I don't know if I'm gonna have to like pull out the body and maybe re-knit it with darts, you know, bring it in on the sides. The t-shirt is actually quite long as well, and so it's hitting wrong now. It doesn't fit the same as it did when I made it, and when I made it for my body then. So if you have any ideas, I was thinking about maybe steaming it. I don't have a steamer, but will an iron do the same thing? Like an iron with a towel maybe? I don't know. Just let me know if you know how to shrink a garment that was knit, or will I have to rip it back and re-knit it? It's not that big of a problem because the body was actually really soothing to knit, but this one I'm going to make much smaller when I do make it so that it is tight fitting, because I would like to wear like really pretty tops underneath of it and it be the statement. So yeah, okay, other things. So I'm trying to think where I want to begin. I have been following a couple of Instagram accounts that I will link down below, especially to Trees Revolution and others, about crafting and politics. I know that not everybody is interested, but I think it's very interesting and that we should be talking about Palestine. I know that, you know, some people disagree and a lot of people probably just left. But I really hope that we're close to a ceasefire now. I have been writing my representatives. Now, I live in Ireland, so things work differently here, but I urge you to please send an email and keep up the contact with them. It's been going on for far too long. I really did think that we would be out of the woods with this now. And I feel very bad about everyone over there, especially children that have lost their parents. It's heartbreaking. And there are many stitchers who are so in our wheelhouse, in our, you know, community, and things that are raising money, that are creating things so that you can make a donation to charity and get something in return. Check out the Stitchers Collective. They are doing a charity run for Doctors Without Borders, for example. And I try, when those things come up on my feed, I try to share them. So Instagram is the best place in my stories for that sort of thing. And yeah, just putting it out there that what's going on is a genocide, and it is uncomfortable to watch and feel so hopeless. But the one thing that we can do is just, you know, write an email. It's literally so easy. Or make a donation and get something that you like, or just make a donation. If you have money is very tight for a lot of us. So I understand that it is difficult to do. But yeah, that's just, it is what it is, right? And all we can do is to raise our voices and kick up a fuss and try to get them to stop. Not all of us are able to, you know, no one is being allowed in, right now. That's one of the main issues. And what's better than sending, you know, food and things like that is actually just telling people how awful it is. So that's been on my mind a lot lately. And another thing is that, you know, with things that are going on in my personal life at the moment that I'm not really comfortable sharing, it has meant that there's a little bit more stress in my life. Obviously nothing compared to losing your parents and starving. But something that I've been doing lately is reading. I've incorporated reading into my daily life. Reading, if we go way back, I've always been an avid reader, and I used to get in trouble staying up late reading. I'm sure that a lot of you could probably relate, under the covers with a flashlight sort of thing. And I ruined my eyesight as a kid because of it. And I have started to, before a couple months ago, I was listening to audiobooks while doing anything and everything. And audiobooks just aren't cutting it for me anymore. So I have decided, you know what, I'm going to carve out 30 minutes a day and I'm going to read before bed. In our new house, we have bedside lamps, which is something that we didn't have at our old house, didn't bother with, you know, and Irish weather. And so it's so comforting to put down the phone and just read for a while. I am currently on book 3 of 4 of the Earth-Sea Quartet, the Earth-Sea books by Ursula Le Guin. And before that I read The Lathe of Heaven by Ursula Le Guin. I'm going through her catalog at the moment, what we have on our bookshelves. And I'm not buying any new books. The only new books that I have purchased are Lore Olympus hardbacks, because I really, really like that webtoon and I want to have it for posterity's sake. And I'd like to reread it soon. But I digress. I am on book 3. I am a little more than 50% of the way through the whole book, the whole series, you know. And it's quite interesting. I would say if you're reading it for the first time and you are like me, you may find the first book to be a bit boring, maybe, but it's really important for setting up the rest of the books. And so I highly recommend just going through it, because the second book is amazing. And the third book is turning out to be quite good as well. So, and I knew that this would kind of be the case because Ursula Le Guin is a fantastic writer. I have a couple of reads on my TBR, my to be read list, and Jade City is one of those, thanks to Zach, Z-Man Crafts. Hopefully I will be able to pick up a copy of that, because since we will be traveling, I'm not going to take Earthsea with me, but I might pick up Jade City while I am on my way. So yeah, if you have any recommendations for books, please let me know. I am not really I'm not into ACOTAR or any of those romantasy types. But you know, I appreciate books from all genres, so if you're really into it, let me know. But yeah, I do settle more into fantasy. I like fantasy. Now, is that everything? I feel like last time I had something else that I wanted to talk to you about, and now it's all gone out of my head, but it has been fantastic. Just reading at night and settling into relaxing a bit more, because I find like especially this year, social media very difficult. For obvious reasons, I find it hard to watch. Have to, it's really important, but it's also overwhelming. And I remember how I felt in 2020. I am diagnosed with an acute anxiety disorder, and so it doesn't take much for me to spiral. And there's only so much I can do before I am made useless by things that are outside of my control. And that's why I'm a bit of a control freak. I'm trying really hard to not be. Let it go, right? Just let it happen. See what happens. But say that to me in a few more days when I'm packing for this 3-week-long trip and freaking out. But it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. So yeah, this week, stitching just on MFE Holiday Countdown Sal. Try to get that really close to a finish. And hopefully this weather, the sunshine, with a random storm things, hopefully that will break into actual spring with actual sun. That would be really nice. We shall see. What's going to happen, I think, is that it's going to, the weather is going to completely clear up as soon as we leave. And it's going to be great for those 3 weeks, and we're going to come back and it's going to be like this again. But that's the way it goes, I think. So yeah, I hope that you're all doing well. What are you working on right now? Are you knitting or cross-stitching or diamond painting? I'd love to hear it. I hope that you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you around this time next week for a little update. It'll be a shorter update, maybe. Don't know. Excuse me. It might not be a shorter update because I want to show you all the things that I'm bringing to Stitch North with me. But I did get one thing in the mail today, and that is this bag. So this little cute bag, that is actually going to hold my wallet or cards, my phone, like all the small stuff can fit in here, my hotel room key, and it'll be on my person, but it feels like there's nothing there, which is great. And Kaylee, thank you so much for your interest. This is my merch. I have a spring store. You can check it out, Teespring. It's linked down below, and it's a hoodie. You could get it in lots of things. It just says coffee, Flosstube, and stitching, because literally everything that I do in a day. Watching Flosstube, stitching, and drinking my coffee. So if that interests you at all, please check out my links down in the description box of this video and any video that I've made. But yeah, it's nice and comfy. I got the premium one because I like the super plush version. And if I'm gonna get something, I'm gonna get something that's gonna last forever. So that's why I have it. And I have a mug as well for my coffee. I just wish it were bigger. That's my only complaint. Right, so I'd better edit this together. I hope that you all stay safe, and remember to make your voices heard. And happy stitching. I'll see you next week. Bye.